Chapter 324. A New Army. Warning. So too also the Highlanders set up a new powerful army of over 2 million men, and consulted with their 10 princes as how they should chastise Hanoch again. And Mahal, who now was most hospitably accommodated by the 10 princes, together with his family, said, "Friends, your numbers have now been reduced by a more accurate count of nearly 3 million, and you now have a lot of space in this great mountain land, which brings forth bread for all of you in abundance. Let therefore go of Hanoch. I know quite well that they are preparing for a mighty struggle with you, and setting up an army of 4 million. But this should not bother you in the least. For if you do not go down to them, they will not come up to you for all times of times. For they are clever enough to realize that 100 below are no match for 10 on a rock. Therefore you are perfectly safe here, because firstly the Hanochites, even if their numbers were still greater, never dared to penetrate up to here. And secondly, they are no longer able to do this, because except for the places where you may have built the ways down, there is nowhere an ascent possible, except over the sacred heights of my brother Noah. But there the Hanochites will have to avoid the ascent everywhere, for in the desert where the battle took place, the plague will meet them many hours before getting there, and will kill them all very badly. And as such this place will be impassable for the next 20 years for neither them nor you. But concerning the sacred heights where my brother lives, it falls under the almighty protection of God, and to march against him will certainly be a most futile effort. Therefore, keep this advice, and you will do well." When the 10 princes heard this advice, they considered it and then said, "You have spoken well. But do you think that Fungar Helen's wrath will leave us in peace? Or will he, who has a most terrifying, adventurous spirit, not do everything possible to gain access to the heights on 1,000 other points, and perhaps has achieved more than 100 to date already? And if he comes into our land, what then about us?" And Mahal said, "Let it go. I told you at the outset what my brother Noah does. Surely, before Fungar has completed constructing his 100 towers, Noah will have completed his water home. But when this is done, then neither the towers nor the mountains will be of any benefit to Fungar Helen, because then the Lord will move in battle against all the world, and will not spare any creature, because of the great wickedness of man." The 10 princes were deep in thought about this speech of Mahal, and for 3 days said nothing. But they nevertheless heeded the advice.